Welcome to Black Entrepreneur Blueprint, the #1 podcast and resource for Black entrepreneurs. I'm your host, Jay Jones, and Black Entrepreneur Blueprint was created specifically to educate and inspire Black entrepreneurs to launch, build, and grow successful, sustainable businesses. Join us as we help build an economic power base in the worldwide Black community by building and supporting Black-owned businesses. If you're currently an entrepreneur or want to be an entrepreneur, you're invited to join us each and every week here at Black Entrepreneur Blueprint. Welcome to the BEB family and get ready to elevate your entrepreneur IQ. Welcome to the Black Entrepreneur Blueprint, episode number 477. I'm your host, Jay Jones, and today we have another outstanding and informative show in store for you. Today's show topic is a part 2 from an episode I did almost exactly 5 years ago. So on July 30th, 2018, I did an episode titled To Be or Not to Be a Black-Owned Business. And in that episode, I talked about, is it better to be anonymous or to promote that you're a Black-owned business? And the reason I'm doing a part 2 to this episode is because of a recent post that I posted about 2 weeks ago for episode number 474. And that episode was titled, Why Blacks Buy from Other Ethnicities and No Other Ethnicities Buy from Blacks. And I did a post to promote the episode, and you should have seen some of the comments that I received from just that post. And the comments were from white people, Black people, Asian people, and other ethnicities. So I wanted to go back because I was truly astounded by some of the comments that I wasn't really expecting from our own community. And I want to delve into that. And I also want to focus on number 1, to be or not to be a Black-owned business, part 2. Now, before I get to today's content, I just want to share a few things with the Black Entrepreneur Blueprint family. First and foremost, I want to welcome all first-time listeners to Black Entrepreneur Blueprint. Welcome to the BEB family. Please stick around until the end of today's broadcast, and I'm going to share all my social media contact information and resource links, such as the link to my latest book, Unlocking the Power of ChatGPT, the ultimate prompting guide for beginners. You can go to unlockingchatgpt.com for more information. But you guys know AI is here to stay. And you have 2 choices. You can either get swept up and swallowed by the wave, or you can jump on top of the wave and leverage artificial intelligence and ChatGPT to help grow and expand your business and also help you in your personal life. It can help you be more productive and more profitable. Also, don't forget to get your 3 days free access to BEBacademy.com. You can go to the website, blackentrepreneurBlueprint.com. It is on the top of the website. Now, this is an online learning portal to help you elevate your entrepreneur IQ. We have online courses, master classes, workshops, PDF downloads, and other resources to help you launch, build, and grow a successful, sustainable business. So go to blackentrepreneurBlueprint.com and you'll see BEB Academy right on the top of the website. Now let's get to today's episode. And I'm going to be quite honest, guys. This episode is a little difficult for me because it has bothered me, some of the comments that I got on my post about episode 474. I always talked about I want to do impactful episodes. And I think this is going to be one of the most impactful episodes that I'm going to do. I pray that people heed my warning and understand where I'm coming from and the perspective that I bring to this topic in this situation. So in the initial episode, which was July 30th, 2018, as I mentioned, almost 5 years to the day that I'm recording this, I talked about being a Black-owned business or portraying yourself as a Black-owned business versus being anonymous. And I talked about the advantages and disadvantages of being a Black-owned business. Now, I have several businesses that I have never mentioned my product brands because, number one, I have a flat iron and hair brand. and I don't want to be the face of the business. Another reason that I don't let people know what the brand name is because I want what's called indestructible income. There are people out there that can sabotage your business. So you have competitors out there that want to get a competitive edge. And I know when I sell on Amazon, a lot of times I've seen this firsthand, and I've known product creators and brand builders that basically have lost their businesses because they had competitors put bad reviews on Amazon about their product. Now, any of you that don't know about selling on Amazon, if you get less than 4 stars, most times your sales are going to go right into the tank. And so what some unscrupulous competitors do is they look to sabotage your business. Now, I did an episode called Indestructible Income. And when I talked about indestructible income, I talked about income that cannot be touched. So if you don't know what the brand is, if you don't know if it's a black brand or whatever, then you're not going to be able to touch my income because you don't know that it's my brand. And so having that experience with some friends that have created brands and lost them, I don't tell you the brand names to some of my products or services. And that's done intentionally. Because unfortunately, guys, and I'm going to get kind of heavy today. Unfortunately, there are people that think our businesses, our products and services are inferior. And the worst part about this is a lot of those people are us. And I'm going to break this down later in today's show. Now, normally I have show notes that I kind of follow, but today this is strictly just from the cuff, off the humbug. I didn't even know what I was going to talk about on today's show, but this has been in my spirit so long, I had to get this off my chest. So make sure if you want to listen to part 1, it's episode 211, 211. Go back and listen to part 1 if you want a reference about what I'm talking about today, to be or not to be a black-owned business. And I've given some examples in there, and I talked about the benefits and also the pitfalls of being a black-owned business. But what I really want to talk about are some of the comments that I've received from that post on episode 474. And what I was really surprised about, it wasn't the haters. It wasn't a lot of the other racist white folk, and a lot of them identified themselves as white and racist, and they had all types of different things, negative things to say. I've had comments that said, oh, black people actually buy things. I thought all you did was loot. Oh, I didn't know you had businesses. Oh, your products and businesses are always inferior. Your prices are always too high. You're trying to get over. You know, I've had black people respond that, oh, I don't support black-owned businesses because they're always open late. The prices are too high. The products aren't good. Ba-ba. And it was more black folk than I anticipated that have been brainwashed, hoodwinked, as they say, and believe in the nonsense that all black businesses are no good. And that's what disturbs me the most. I expect that from other races and ethnicities. You see, we're the only jackasses that go out of our way to spend our hard-earned money with other businesses that don't give a damn about us. Do you complain that much when you go into the Asian store to get your Chinese food and they talk to you like shit? They treat you like shit. Do you complain about them? No, your happy black ass is back in there next week getting more Chinese food. And this isn't with all Chinese delis or businesses. Just yesterday, I was in a Thai takeout place, and my wife wanted Thai food, so she ordered something. I went in to pick it up for her. And as I went in, you know, they said, what are you here for? And I said, oh, I'm here to pick up for, you know, my wife, blah, blah, blah. All right, put your card in there. Is that a debit card or is that an EBT card? She asked me, was this an EBT card? I'm like, no, it's a debit card. So I put it in, and she was kind of standoffish and kind of rude, right? So I told my wife, I said, that's the last time I'm going in there, and I recommend that you don't spend money in there either. Now, is that going to work? Is she going to go back in there? I don't know, because she didn't experience that. But what I'm saying is, we're always more than happy or more than welcome to excuse any other type of business but our own. When you walk into a car dealership, if you're going into a BMW, Mercedes dealership or whatever, and you got, sweatpants on or whatever, how are they going to treat you? Right? So we're always super criticizing or super critical of black-owned businesses. But do you have that same critique or that same energy when you go into other stores? Okay, like I said, I expect this from other ethnicities. I don't expect this from my own people. Some of the comments I had were so short-sighted and ignorant, meaning not knowing. Yeah, every time I go into black business, they try to get me with the prices. Not all black businesses try to get you with the prices. And let me break this down for you, especially if we're talking about a product-based business. So if there's a black store on the corner and an Asian or Indian store right across the street on the other corner, here's what happens a lot of times. And you have to read Black Economics by Dr. Jawanza Kunjufu. The book is probably 35, 40 years old right now, but it still holds true. Black Economics by Dr. Jawanza Kunjufu. And what he stated, which is still true today, is that many black retail store owners, corner store, whatever you want to call them, bodegas, delis, or whatever, when they purchase individually, as opposed to a lot of the other communities that have cooperative buying. So in the Asian community, I know in Philadelphia, they have an Asian co-op. So when they go out and buy wrap snacks, they're buying it in bulk from the distributor. When they go out and buy other products, they're buying it in bulk, and then they're splitting that between the 10, 15, or 20 different store owners, and their cost per unit is lower. So they may sell the wrap snacks for 15 cents cheaper than the brother who has a convenience store because they have it at a lower cost basis. And some of these numbskulls that were responding have no idea what they're talking about. Is that true in every case? No. But what I'm trying to explain to you is, listen, if we're not working together and we're not buying cooperatives, we're not going to get the product for the same price as somebody else. So the reason that the brother or sister may be selling it for a little higher price is because it costs them more and they have to be profitable. I was telling this story to one of my friends yesterday. I have a friend from college, Chinese brother from New York City, real cool dude named Ben. Ben and I have been friends for damn near 30-something years. He comes from a wealthy Chinese family that does import and export. So his father owns all types of distributorships and stores in New York City, and he sells all kind of junk. Anyway, he told me, and I talked to him probably about a week ago. I called him up, and he was like, look, man, he said, Jay, I've told you this many a time over the years because we've talked about commerce, economics, black economic empowerment. And he said, look, man, he said, if there's a Chinese store on this corner and there's another regular supermarket across the street and the Chinese supermarket sells stuff for 20% higher, he said, my dad and everybody in my community is still going to go to the Chinese store. They're not going to go to the ShopRite, Acme, Super G, Giant, whatever stores you got in your neighborhood, because they recognize and understand the importance of supporting that community. Whereas a lot of what we think about is, I got to save $1, not understanding that the brother or sister that has that retail location, they have to sell at a higher price. But once again, they're thinking, in this instance, the Chinese community is thinking communal, thinking group. What is better for the group? Not what's better for Ben, but what's better for the group. And that's how we have to start thinking. It just amazes me, out of the hundreds of comments that I got, some of the dumb ass comments that I got from us. And a lot of that comes from being brainwashed and not understanding what's really going on. Am I telling you guys to support a black-owned store if the store is garbage, the products are no good, they have bad customer service? No. But what I'm saying is, give them a shot. And just like any other store or place you deal with, critique them on the same level. Don't super critique the black owned business and not critique the other businesses you go in. So Jim Jones, the rapper, goes into Gucci, right? He's in there pissed off because Gucci isn't giving him, quote unquote, his proper respect. He's wandering around the store talking stuff on IG Live. Yeah, I'm trying to spend 27 racks in here. They're not treating me this, that, and the other thing. But while he's talking and doing this, he's still in the store and he still spends his money, even though the store told him that they don't want you in here pretty much and they don't want your money. But you're so brainwashed that you got to have Gucci on your back or on your feet or your glasses, whatever the hell you was buying, that you're going to give them money anyway, even though they told your dumbass that they don't want your money. That's how insane this is for black folk. We're spending money on a lot of products and going to places and using services the people could care less about you. But they see and they understand that, guess what? We can continue to treat black folk anyway. They're so ignorant that they're going to continue to come back. When they talking about the American dream was literally built on our back physically and now financially. My wife and I were talking, and I'm getting amped up because this is ridiculous. We got to learn how to support and build black-owned businesses because it's all about economic power base. But my wife and I were talking the other day, and the silly thing is, we think, not us per se, that people are listening here, but we think that when somebody else makes it, it's better. I've heard people talking about, the stuff black people sell in the stores is cheap. Well, when do black people manufacture? All we're doing is taking products that are manufactured from somewhere else and selling them retail for the most part. Same thing as every other store. But once again, the critique is that our products are no good. Now, is there an issue with customer service? It may be. But if it is, don't just say, I'm not using the store anymore. Talk to the manager or owner. Hey, look, I'm over here patronizing your business. You have employees that have bad customer service, and you need to let them know. Give them an opportunity to correct it, okay? I went to a Wendy's the other day to get a burger, and it was a black sister was, on the drive-through. Yeah, what you want? I said, what? I got up there and I said, you need to have better customer service. Oh, I'm sorry. I apologize. Guess what? All right. That was a white owned Wendy's. But guess what? If that happened to you, I bet your happy ass is going to be back to that Wendy's. All right. It might have been a black person that was bad at service. But does that mean you're going to boycott that Wendy's? No, that means that you're still going to end up going back to that Wendy's, even though they said that the service was bad. So that's what I'm talking about in terms of having the same critique on black-owned businesses that you have on other ethnic businesses. And I guarantee you, there's not one of y'all listening right now that has been in a retail store and either been followed or been looked at because they think you might shoplift. But your happy black ass is right back in that department store the next time you get paid. You don't say nothing about that. You say absolutely nothing because what? You expect that. You expect that because that's what's been happening for years. And you're at the point now where you've been so desensitized by this happening to you that you think it's okay. So when you go into a black store now, you're hypersensitive because these are quote unquote my people. I know they're going to treat me well and they should treat you well. But guess what? Not all of the employees are going to be the best employees. And you need to not just stop going to that store. You need to tell management about it. Yo, I'm trying to support you, but you got some bad customer service out here. If you don't correct this, I'm not coming back. That's the least you can do. If you got a bad or defective product, which I know you gotten bad or defective products from other stores, you need to go and let management or the ownership know, yo, I'm trying to support you. I need this fixed. Man, I bought a TV probably a year ago. I forgot. I think it was Vizio. I bought it from Best Buy. The damn thing literally blew up in about 6 months. Did I say, oh, you know what? I ain't never going to Best Buy again because the TVs in there ain't shit and blah, 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 blah. No, I know their product defects. I understand that. Okay. And that's the thing about critiquing. And I'm getting amped up today, but I'm so tired of people being brainwashed and programmed by the system. You know, ice from a white person's house is better than ice from a black person's house. That's the ignorance that we've been taught, and it's ingrained itself in us. And not all of us, but a lot of us. And what I want you guys to understand, because I had somebody say, well, there are not a lot of black stores in my neighborhood. Do you understand black economic empowerment doesn't just mean in the neighborhood? First of all, we don't have a lot of stores in our neighborhood, okay? But black economic empowerment means supporting black-owned businesses. And I say this ad nauseum all the time. So when there is a black-owned business, be it an e-commerce business or a physical business, the reason that it's important for you to support that business is because statistics show that most entrepreneurs and business owners hire people that they're comfortable with, i.e. people that look like them, people that are familiar with their culture. So when you go to the Chinese store, I went to that Thai takeout place the other day. Everybody I saw in there working was Thai. You go to the Indian grocery store, the most part, everybody you see working in there is Indian. Now, if there's anybody else, they damn sure ain't on the cash register. They may stock the shelves. I've never seen a lot of that anyway. But what you have to understand, when you support those black-owned businesses, they grow. And when they grow, they hire more people. Okay? Now, it doesn't necessarily have to be a physical store in your neighborhood. If there's an e-commerce store that's out there growing like crazy, they may need to hire more people in shipping, fulfillment, warehousing, marketing, or whatever. So when I say the black economy, it doesn't just mean your physical neighborhood. So what happens now when you support this corner store, this black-owned corner store? They have an opportunity to grow. They may hire people that look like us. They may expand to another location. That's why you support it. Every other ethnicity knows this, and not just knows it, they take action on it, but us. We're so quick, like I said, to critique our own, but let other stuff slide from other ethnicities. And to me, it's the dumbest thing in the world. We have everything we need, family, to grow and get out of this hole if we work together. I'm getting a damn headache right now. You know, I had to literally cut off the comments on that post because I was getting so mad at not white folk and other people that were responding. I expect that, because if something doesn't affect you, you don't give a damn about it, right? So what I got pissed off was some of the responses I got from our folk. I mean, I can't tell you how many people said, oh, black products are no good, stores don't open on time, this, that, and the other thing. Hey, that may be true in some cases, but not all cases. And you have the duty to go to that store that opened late and say, yo, we're trying to support you, brother. We're trying to support you, sister, but you got to do better. Instead of just saying, oh, man, they were 5 minutes late to open. You know what? Oh, man, I ain't messing with them anymore. Nah, give them the respect that, hey, you're trying to help them out. Okay? Help me help you, right? Let them know what they need to do and give them an opportunity to fix that if it's broken. Understand that it's about community more than it's about you. I get it. Everybody wants to save $1, right? But if I can buy from a black-owned company and spend $5 more versus spending with somebody else, I'm going to spend with that company. And it's all about action. And what you have to understand is everybody has a supercomputer in their hand. I guarantee you 99% of the people listening to this have shopped online before. You've gone to Amazon, you've gone to Shein, you've gone to all these different places to buy things. Find a black-owned business and support it, okay? 2 cents out of every dollar in the black community is circulated in our community. So if you make $1, only 2 cents is spent on a black-owned business. Okay, what happens if that turns into 10 cent, 15 cent, 20 cent? Do you understand the impact that's going to have on the black worldwide economy? Not in your neighborhood per se, but on the worldwide economy. There are e-commerce businesses. There are all types of ways to support black-owned businesses. Now, I got another comment that said something about, well, there are no black-owned businesses in our neighborhood. And I did a video, and I never actually put it up, but I did a video when I'm driving through North Philadelphia, right? Right down Broad Street, North Broad Street, driving all the way down from Center City all the way down to Ogons, all right, Ogons Avenue. So anybody from Philly, you know exactly what I'm talking about. The majority of the businesses on Broad Street are not black owned. But guess what? They're in a lot of black and Hispanic neighborhoods. And blacks and Hispanics aren't owning a lot of business. So when we see blight and poverty, other ethnicities go in, open up a store, and they start extracting that cash out of the community. Now, are you mad at them? No, because they're doing good business. So how many of you ladies listening to this go to Korean-owned beauty supply stores? Get your nails done by the Koreans or whoever. There's nothing wrong with that because they understand there's a market for it. The problem is we should be dominating that market if we're spending all the money on hair and nails and all of this. It's just, it's insane to me why we don't start taking over that marketplace, that industry. So when people look at the black neighborhood and see blight, there are other people that see money. They see wealth in that neighborhood. Now, what is that wealth going to? All right. I guarantee you all the supplies in those beauty supply stores, they're buying from Korean distributors. The Koreans have locked down the black hair care and black beauty care space. The trade magazine in that industry is written in Korean first and then English, because that's how much of a lock they have on that industry. And where's the money coming from? It's coming from us. So there's a pastor out in North Jersey named Dr. Buster Soaries, DeForest Soaries. I forgot the name of his church, but I've listened to him on multiple occasions, and he talks about black economic empowerment. So what he does, unlike a lot of black preachers who's lining their own pockets, BSing around, talking all of that nonsense prosperity preaching, Dr. Soaries has a set salary, nothing crazy. It's based on the number of parishioners. And pastors who listen to this know you should be paid based on the number of parishioners. There's actually a figure. So some of these, storefront churches, they got 100 parishioners. They trying to make $1 million a year. That's ridiculous. But what Buster Soaries did was he started buying vacant strip centers and real estate around his church. And what he did was he started teaching people how to build businesses. He created a nail salon place. He actually had people come in and they taught them the nail salon business. I think he also has a hair care place, a distributor, all types of businesses that we spend our money on, but we're spending it with somebody else. So his thing is economic empowerment. In addition to starting businesses, you're helping, enliven the community. You're giving people jobs. Wouldn't you want to go to a strip center that's all black? I think they have a mall or a Black Wall Street, I believe, right outside of Atlanta. In Philadelphia, the Reverend Leon H. Sullivan, who's passed away now, he created what's called Progress Plaza, right by my alma mater, Temple University. Progress Plaza, he created all types of, it was a strip center, and it was black businesses in there. And he also started OIC. And OIC was a nonprofit that helped train black people to be able to start their own businesses and also gain employment. So it's about economic empowerment. And the reason it's so important to support Black-owned businesses is because economics is the key to everything, guys. I have this shirt that I made up. There's no revolution without economics. Economics controls politics. Okay? I know a lot of these hoteps out here talking about they don't vote. If you don't vote for your local elections, you're a fool. You are a pure D fool, because your local politicians make policies. So if you're concerned about your children's school, your school doesn't have a lot of books, guess what? The politicians handle that. Your taxes are going up in your neighborhood that grandmom had her house in for 40 years. They're trying to gentrify the neighborhood. And then the developers came in, they greased the politicians' hands. Now they made that same area where your grandmom lived for 40 years, they make that a new redevelopment zone. Taxes go up, grandmom gets kicked out of the house, they knock the house down, and now they put up these new condos and brownstones and townhouses. So economics control politics, politics control policy. Economics controls the media. It controls the narratives about what we see. There were certain people on that thread that talked about, there was some African sister said when she came to the United States, before she got here, they told her, don't mess with the United States black folk. They're lazy, they're criminals, and all they want to do is get over on you. And that has been told. I have a good friend who's from Australia, kind of like a sister-in-law of mine. She told me the same thing 25 years ago when she got to the U.S. People in Australia told her, hey, don't mess with black folks. They're no good. They're lazy. They rob. They steal. They don't do anything. Now, all her friends are black. It's the propaganda. So economics controls media. It controls the narrative, what people see of us. And when you go to other countries and you talk to people while you're traveling, and all they see is us in there rapping, fighting, they see the news, which always portrays us in a negative manner. They see that, and that's what they think we are. They think we're monolithic. Okay, we're great athletes, entertainers, we're violent, we're lazy. We don't like to do anything but rob and steal. And so if you don't think economics plays a point in media, then I don't know what to tell you. Economics controls politics, which control policies. Economics control the media, which basically controls the narrative. Economics controls the education that your children are getting. All right. You got some schools that have, some schools that have not. That's down to economics. Why do you think all of these charter schools and private schools are coming up now? Because white folks and other people don't want to send their kids to public schools because a lot of the public schools are underfunded, understaffed, and it's not a good place to learn. Okay? Economics actually controls healthcare, right? So if you don't have healthcare in your neighborhood, or you don't have access to healthcare because you don't have the money, guess what? Your lifespan is going to be shorter. And all of this comes from economics. There's no revolution, family, without economics. Economics controls everything. And why am I talking about that? Because economics in the black community can be improved by building and supporting black-owned businesses. I'm not talking about Magic Johnson, Oprah Winfrey, Michael Jay-Z, all it. They got this. I'm talking about the everyday cats like us that are living. If we gather and direct our resources to black-owned businesses, creating political action committees, and stop worrying about all the dumb shit. Excuse the French, but I'm super passionate today. All of the dumb shit that we're worrying about. You over there, you ain't got two nickels together, but you're going to have a $75,000 wedding that you borrowing money for just so you can stunt on Instagram, right? You're going to buy a car that costs more than your house, right? You ain't got two nickels to rub together, but you got an 85-inch television in your basement. Dumb stuff. Focus on building wealth. And I know generational wealth, that's a big buzzword or whatever. You got to have wealth yourself before you can create generational wealth. So let's start at home first and focus. Another thing that white people were saying on the comment section of that Instagram post, why is everything about race? Hey, we don't make it that way. The first thing that somebody recognizes when they see us is our race. We can't hide. We can't be Irish or Jewish or, Scottish, whatever. They can blend in, right? We don't. So people think of race the first thing when they see us. Now, are all people racist? Of course not. And I'm not even saying anything close to that. They're good people in all races, okay? And there's some messed up ones in different races too. But a lot of the comments I got was saying that they're reading the narrative. Oh, you guys don't want anything. All you want to do is loot anyway. Do you really buy products? Do people even want to do business with you? And of course they want to do business with us because they extract the money out of our communities. So we have to be smart. And I talk about weaponizations. Weapons can be used for offense and defense, right? So weaponizing our resources, meaning taking our resources and spending money in black-owned businesses, making a concerted or conscious effort to do so. And I think we slip on that. So here's the thing. If you go shopping every 2 weeks, you get paid, right? Most people buy the same thing every 2 weeks. You may see something here you'll pick up and try. But why don't you find a couple of black-owned brands? There's a black detergent brand out there. Start buying that, online instead of going and buying Clorox or whatever else you're doing. Find a couple. You don't have to go crazy. Find a couple of black-owned products that you put into your usual rotation when you go shopping. That's something very simple that you can do. There's a black-owned toothbrush company. You want to buy a toothbrush, go buy this. All right, so there are tons of businesses out there that we can allocate our resources to. And like I said, stop being so super critical about, our businesses versus somebody else's, because I guarantee you don't have that same energy when something happens at another business. You're right back in there patronizing somebody or some business that doesn't give a damn about you. So remember, guys, the reason we need to support black-owned businesses is, number one, there's a worldwide black economy. It's not just a neighborhood economy anymore. Worldwide. So if you support a black e-commerce brand, that's great. Hopefully they continue to grow, they hire, and then they continue to grow and give people opportunities for employment. I said this on the show last week or the week before last when I had my first mortgage business. I gave people the opportunity to get into the mortgage business that white companies wouldn't even have let them in the door. I've had people come in as bill collectors, collection agents making $35,000, walking out the door making $150,000, six figures plus. And they would have never gotten the opportunity if Jay Jones wasn't owning that business. Everybody in my business, out of 50 plus employees, 47 of them were black. Okay. And I hired people that wouldn't have had an opportunity somewhere else. So just like you want people to give you an opportunity, damn it, give these black-owned businesses an opportunity. Guess what? I've hired felons in businesses I've had before. They made a mistake. Guess what? I'm not going to punish you for the rest of your life because you made a mistake. Everybody deserves a second chance. So that black-owned business, now if they continue to have bad service, products are shoddy or whatever, I get it. But everybody deserves a second chance, and you need to let the businesses know, yo, man, this isn't right. I'm trying to support your business. This is what's wrong. I hope you can change it. If not, I'm going to have to take my business elsewhere. Give people and businesses the opportunity. When you start a business, most of us don't know what the hell we're doing until we get in the mix. So we need that feedback so we can get better. So this is something, guys, in terms of the mindset. As soon as one little thing goes wrong with a black-owned business, product or service business, oh, yeah, this business ain't no good. Yeah, man, that's why I don't deal with black businesses. And that's what I was seeing on these posts from a lot of us. I expect it from other people because they don't care. They don't give a damn about you. I had some white racist guys say, yeah, I'm a white racist. I don't buy anything I know is black. So that was the question, to be or not to be a black-owned business. That was from the first part 1 of the episode. So if you are a black business that is marketed as a black business, then you got to understand you're not just fighting other ethnicities. It's unfortunate you're fighting yourself. Or you could be anonymous in your business and let it be known that, hey, this is just a regular business. Or you could be a business and I just happen to be black. Any way you want to play it is up to you. Which makes more sense for you is what you probably need to do. But what I can't stand is the imbalance in the critiquing of black-owned businesses versus other businesses. Guys, we have everything that we need to close the racial wealth gap. $1.8 trillion is estimated to come through black hands in 2024. And before somebody says there's no such thing as a black dollar, whoever controls that dollar is the owner of that dollar at the time. Nobody ever says there's not a Jewish dollar or an Asian dollar or an Indian dollar. You know, it is a black dollar. If we control $1.8 trillion, we can galvanize and use that leverage and that power to build up businesses. We also can shut businesses down. That was what the Montgomery boycott was about. If you don't think we have power, look back, and some of y'all are young, to the civil rights movement and the Montgomery boycott. We shut that bus company down because they didn't treat us right. It took a while, but that's how you weaponize your dollars. That's offensive weaponization. Okay? That's how you shut companies down. But some of you Negroes are so simple, it doesn't matter what a company does. They know you're going to still buy stuff. When Gucci came out with that sweater that looked like big black lips or big red lips on it, there was an outburst. And that lasted for about 2 weeks. And then some of you Simple Simons is back up in there buying all of their stuff. Why would they change when they know exactly what you're going to do? We got to start leveraging our resources, man. And I'm using Gucci as an example. I don't care what it is. It could be Adidas with the Yeezys or whatever. Shut that thing down, man. Have some fortitude. Stop being a punching bag for everybody else. They're laughing at us, y'all. I did another episode. Here's what people think about you. They're laughing at you because they know what you're going to do. You so caught up in trying to have the latest this, that, and the other thing from companies that don't give a damn about you that you're missing the real big point. And I get it. People go through stages. You may be at a stage right now where you say, man, the hell with Jay Jones and what he's talking about. He don't know what he's saying. But hopefully there'll come a point of enlightenment when you understand that it's greater than you. It's not just about you. It's about the community. You can't move nowhere without the community moving with you. You can't move if the Civil Rights Act, or not the Civil Rights Act, but the Civil Rights Movement wasn't about the group, you wouldn't be where you were. Now, yeah, there's certain people that can supersede that. Some athletes, entertainers, or whatever may be able to get in the rooms that normal people can't. But as a whole, we got to move communally. And that's what every other ethnicity does. They support their own. And it's not hate for anybody else for us to support our own. It's love. The same love that we give to our people is the same love other ethnicities give to theirs. And that was another thing that came out in the comments. Anytime black people try to galvanize and come together, it's considered hate. You don't know how many comments I had. Oh, why does it always have to be about black? Do you say that when the Jewish people get together? Do you say that when the Asians get together? Do you say that when the Indians get together? No. But when black people try to galvanize and work towards a common goal, it's always a problem. And you know why it's always a problem? Because they want you to stay exactly where you are, on the bottom. Man, y'all better wake up and recognize. And I'm telling all of y'all right now that don't give black businesses a fair shake or won't even deal with a black business, you need to check yourself. Because it ain't just about you. Now, granted, family, if the black business is garbage, their food or their product or service is bad consistently, don't do business with them. Don't just do business with them because they're black. Right now, I've gone to a restaurant that I'll never go to again, and I tried them 3 or 4 times. I talked to the owner of the restaurant. Yo, man, I called in this order an hour and a half ago, and now you want me to come back in another hour? It happened about 3 or 4 times in a row. Don't you know that you need to make enough food? You should understand what your flow of food looks like. You know, if Friday night is a big rib night, then you probably need to order some more ribs, right? It was like these cats was, when you placed an order, it was like they started cooking the ribs as soon as you placed the order instead of having them done. And I went there literally 4 or 5 times, and it was the same thing. And the last time I told the brother, I said, look, man, I'm trying to support you, but I can't do it right now. And I haven't gone back yet. I'm going to probably go back. It's been about 1.5 years, almost 2 years. I might go and try it again. But I understand their growing pains with new businesses. And so I tried to give them that leeway. But I get it, family. If after a while the businesses aren't up to par, hey, you got to go somewhere else. I understand that. But critique white businesses and other businesses just as hard as you're going to critique black-owned businesses, all right? And don't go into the black-owned businesses talking about you need a deal, brother man, brother man, brother man. Nah, they're in there to make money too. As long as they provide you with a good product or service and at a fair price, support the business. But stop super critiquing our businesses and you letting everything else go somewhere else. And I gave you the example of that TV I bought from Best Buy from Vizio that blew up in a couple of months. And I didn't say I ain't never going into Best Buy again. Hey, I know stuff happens. All right, they replaced it. All was good. Now, if that was a black-owned electronics store, somebody would have said, man, they sell me this BS TV. I ain't never going back there. But let another larger company do that to you and your monkey behind is right back in there, right? They slapping you in the face and you still coming back in. Thank you very much. I'll be in next week. Slap. You know, we're the only ones that turn the other cheek. We talking that kumbaya stuff, right? We turning the other cheek and, you know, all is good with the world. We're super inclusive. And this is the crazy thing. You've been conditioned to be super inclusive, right? We want all the black and brown together. We want all of this together. Does any other ethnicity include us and stuff? You know, oh yeah, we're going to do the Jewish Black Coalition. We're going to do the Puerto Rican Black Coalition. We're going to do that. Does any other ethnicity include us when they're trying to create something better for themselves? Or do they do it on their own? We're the only one. They watered down civil rights to mean everything. It should have been black rights because we were the ones getting kicked in the ass. But they had to water it down to civil rights, which included everybody else. And there's nothing wrong with inclusion, but you got to get yours first. How you going to bring somebody else in and help them if you can't help your damn self? What does it say? Charity starts at home. Get your home right first. Then you start bringing other people in. I'm about to wind this down now. This has been super frustrating. Like I said, looking at the comments on that. But to be or not to be a black-owned business part 2, I need you guys to understand the importance of building and supporting black-owned businesses and why we need to build a black economic power base, because economics controls everything. There's no revolution without economics. Before we close on out, guys, let me just give you all my social media contact information and resource links. Everything I'm about to tell you is on the website, blackentrepreneurBlueprint.com. blackentrepreneurBlueprint.com. If you're lazy, take the quick one and go to bebconnect.com. It's going to take you to the same place. All right. I mentioned at the top of the show, my new book is out, Unlocking the Power of ChatGPT, the ultimate prompting handbook for beginners. Go to unlockingchatgpt.com. Also, I mentioned BEB Academy. It's on the front page of the website. Also, Brand Builder Elite Academy, which is if you're looking to start a physical products brand or digital products brand, it's on the front page of the website. And also, Pinpoint and Monetize Your Genius, which pound for pound is one of my best programs. And your genius is the intersection between your passion and your talent. The problem is most people don't know how to monetize it. So if you want to build a six-figure business based on your passions and your talents, then check out Pinpoint and Monetize Your Genius. Once again, that's on the front page of the website, blackentrepreneurblueprint.com. Now, if you want to reach out to me and connect with me, anything long, family, hit me on my email, jjones@blackentrepreneurblueprint.com, JAYJONES @blackentrepreneurblueprint.com, Facebook, Black Entrepreneur Blueprint, Twitter, jjones001, JAYJONES 001. Instagram, I got 2 IG accounts. The first one is J Jones for Real, JAYJONES, the number 4, REAL. Second one is Black Entrepreneur Blueprint. Also, connect with me on LinkedIn. Just go to LinkedIn, type in J Jones Black Entrepreneur Blueprint. Follow me there. Also, YouTube. Guys, we have additional content on YouTube that is not on the show. Go to YouTube, type in Black Entrepreneur Blueprint, and hit that subscribe button. Now, for all first-time listeners, we drop a new episode every Monday morning, 5 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on all your major podcast platforms and YouTube. So make sure wherever you're listening to this episode, hit that subscribe button. So that was a mouthful, but once again, just go to the website, blackentrepreneurblueprint.com. Everything I talked about is there, and you'll be able to get all the links to my social media and all the online courses, programs, ecosystem that I've created for Black Entrepreneur Blueprint. Now, as I say each and every week, family, we get more and more downloads because of you, the BEB family. Please continue to spread the word about the podcast, the new updated website, the entire BEB ecosystem. It's all about elevating your entrepreneur IQ. Remember, guys, it's not about me. It's not about you. It's about us. It's about building an economic power base in the worldwide Black community by building and supporting Black-owned businesses. Love you guys. See you same time next week. Peace.